what's going on in your mind and what steps are you taking to find that purpose? Because when we are in the whole finding purpose, we're feeling really lost. There's a lot of anxiety that can come from that. Can also be depression that comes from all that. There's all these negative emotions that happen and come from when you don't have a drive or you don't have a purpose somewhere. So what was going on for you when you were feeling like you didn't have a purpose, and how did you pull out of that to then, go in the direction of where you're at?
So it's different for every single person, right? But one point that I can speak to is the veteran community, because we all go through the same thing at one point in time as we get ready to transition, right? So I like to use the analogy of the last 20 or so years, I was in jail, right? I was very regimented. I was told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what time I need to do it, in task, condition, and standard, how it needs to be done. And I executed on those points for 20 years. So fast forward, I'm at 19 and a half years that I'm like, oh, crap, this is happening. Like, I'm getting out. Like, I've known this for the past, 19 plus years. What am I going to do once I get out? And it's almost like I'm losing my identity all over, right? When I joined at the age of 18, I lost my identity as a civilian and gained a new one as a soldier. Now I'm getting ready to lose my identity as a soldier, and now I'm about to become a civilian. So that took me a while to figure out as far as what's the rest of my life going to look like. And I had to dig deep into, okay, I need to understand that being a soldier, being a special forces operator it was a job. It was a part of my life that I did, but it's not the end of my life. So now I had to go back to the drawing board and figuring out, like, hey, who is Jay Dorleus? Like, what do I enjoy to do? At the end of the day, I was still, a husband. I was a father. I was a leader. Like, I was all of those things. So it's like, okay, so it doesn't end here once I take off. Life keeps going on. However, what do I enjoy to do? What do I love? And I was able to answer that question, because that's what it comes down to. You got to find out, like, what makes you happy, what you are good at, and what really impacts those around you. And for me, it was just leadership. It was leadership. It was mentoring. It was helping people problem solve. And that's what I really like to do. Like, I would have soldiers come to me for their with their problems, and I would, talk them through it, help them figure it out. And that gave me joy. So it's like, okay, well, once I get out, I don't necessarily have to stop doing that. Instead of doing it in the Army, I can do it in the civilian sector, right? I love special operations, and I know some of these guys that are getting ready to come into the military, they're going to go through the same problems, through the same pitfalls, through the same highs, into the same lows that I went through when I went in. So why not create something that allows me to coach, teach, mentor, problem solve, and show the next generation how to do it. Once I was able to, latch onto that, I hit the ground running. Now, I was fortunate. Not every single veteran is able to find their purpose post-military, right? I've always been really good at thinking, like 5 to 10 steps ahead of what needs to happen, right? So I was able to map it out. But there's a lot of veterans that don't have the opportunity, that are stuck in, we call it the good old years, right? The I used to be's, as opposed to realizing that at the end of the day, you still have your family, you still have your parents, you still have society looking to you for leadership. You don't have to stay in that I used to be a soldier mindset and share the good old stories and all of that. You could easily move on. But it takes realizing that this is going to come to an end. Right? Once you realize that, hey, it's going to end, then you need to start planning the next chapter. And that's how I was able to get over it.